Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to the 15th Annual General Meeting of Republic Equity Trust. Thank you for being here. May I kindly ask Mr. Martin Asante to lead us in prayer.
Stand back for prayer. Father in heaven, thank you for this day. We thank you for the loving kindness. We thank you that the meeting of members of Public Trust can take place at this moment. We invite you to our midst, direct our deliberations, at the end of the day, let it be fruitful. We ask this in the name of our mighty Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Asante. I would like to introduce directors here present. Members, I have Mr. Farid Anta, Mr. David Ado Ashon, Mr. Ebenezer Tego, and Mr. Benjamin Joboku. On the high table, I have the CEO, Mrs. Madeline Nete, the company secretary, Ms. Patience Enyodam Akoni, and your chairman for today, Mr. Michael Ado. Before proceeding to the business of the AGM, I will ask the secretary to confirm the number of unit holders present and proxies table to ensure that there is a quorum.
Mr. Chairman, I confirm that there is a quorum. I have received 2 proxy forms in addition to 19 members present. Thank you.
Thank you. The notice convening the meeting was published twice in the Daily Graphic newspaper on Monday, 3rd August 2020, and on Wednesday, 19th August 2020, in accordance with statutory requirements. Also, the notice has been published on the website of the manager since Monday, 3rd August 2020. With your permission, I will take the notice as read. Ordinary business, item 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the first item on the agenda for today is to receive the report of the manager for the year 2019. I now call on the manager to present the report.
Good morning, unit holders. I present to you the Fund Manager's report for the financial year ended December 31st, 2019. Economic overview. The global economy grew by 2.9% in 2019, according to the World Economic Outlook issued by the IMF. The global economic outlook appears subdued with a projected contraction in 2020. The Ghanaian economy. The Ghanaian economy demonstrated firmer growth during the year 2019, albeit at a relatively slower pace than was recorded in the previous year. The Ghanaian economy on the whole grew by 7.9% in 2019 from a position of 6.8% the previous year. Highlights of key economic indicators. The Ghanaian cedi exhibited signs of volatility in the greater part of 2019 due to increased domestic demand pressures and the strengthening of the US dollars. On the whole, the cedi lost ground to all the major trading currencies in 2019. Interest rates. Interest rates on the money market remain stable, with marginal increases across the various maturities on the yield curve. The 1-year rate increased to 17.90% at close of year 2019 from 14.93% in the year 2018. Inflation. Headline inflation was largely contained in the projected target of 8% plus or minus 2%, and remained at a single digit, lingering around 8% for the greater part of 2019. At the end of 2019, inflation rate was 7.9%. Stock market performance. The Ghana Stock Exchange, GSE, ended both 2018 and 2019 on a bearish note. The GSE Composite Index recorded negative 12% in 2019 and negative 0.29% in 2018. As visibly as it appears, the market performance in 2019 was worse than that of 2018. Financial sector reforms. Both the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission have had to crack the whip on some of their licensees in the year 2019 for non-compliance and unethical practices that led to investors and depositors losing some of their investments. The dividends of the banking sector reforms have led to enhanced liquidity, quality assets, declining NPL ratios, improved earnings, and strong capital adequacy, leading to a robust financial sector. Fund performance. Republic Equity Trust net asset value stood at 13 million as at the end of 2019. The fund also recorded a positive return of 3.35% compared to its benchmark, the GSE Composite Index, which ended the period on a negative note of negative 12%. A 5-year performance assessment positions your fund favorably at 11.35% against its benchmark, the Composite Index of 2.62%. The bearish nature of the equities market, coupled with a redemptions request from some unit holders, led to the fund value declining from a position of 14 million in 2018 to 13.10 million in 2019. Portfolio review and asset mix. For 2 consecutive years, the stock markets closed the year on a negative note. The downward trend recorded by the stock market with no visibility of immediate recovery led your fund manager to rebalance the portfolio in order to avoid adverse potential capital losses. At the end of 2019, equities constituted 26.7% of the portfolio, bank deposits accounted for 27%, allocations to bonds were 45%, with the remaining allocations being 0.09% and 0.48% in collective investment schemes and cash equivalents, respectively. Unit holders. Going forward, the constituents in the equities portfolio will continue to be realigned for value creation and also position the portfolio to benefit from any potential rise in yields of medium to long-term bonds. The fund's portfolio would constantly be monitored and periodically rebalanced to make adjustments to the asset composition in response to changing market dynamics. This allows for risk minimization and a boost in overall returns. We shall make strategic allocations to equities on the basis of solid fundamentals and good track record of dividend payment. Equity Trust outlook for 2020. Prospects for growth of your fund are enormous as we position ourselves as the equity fund manager of choice. Our dear unit holders, last year, among all the licensed equity trust funds on the markets, your fund, the Republic Equity Trust, came out as a top performer. We shall continue to leverage on our fund management prowess and our understanding of the market to grow your funds and earn for you a return that outperforms the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index. Your fund manager will work at increasing the fund visibility. We assure you of our commitment to manage your funds with utmost prudence and professional due diligence. We remain grateful to you, our unit holders, for the continuous patronage and custom. Thank you very much.
Together with the trustees' report and auditors' report thereon. I will start with the trustees' report. I call upon the representative of the trustee, Universal Merchant Bank, Ghana Limited, to read the report of the trustee to members.
Good morning, unit holders. I present to you the report of a trustee for a public equity trust. In our opinion, according to the information made available to us and the explanations provided, we confirm that in all material respects, the manager has managed the scheme during the year covered by these financial statements in accordance with the trust deed dated 1st August 2018, and all regulations for the time being in force under the Unit Trust and Mutual Funds Regulations 2001 LI 1695. This is dated 29th day of April 2020. Thank you.
I now call upon the representative of John K. & Co. to read the report of the auditors to members.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And good morning to you, good morning to trustees and management, and good morning to the unit holders. I now present to you the independent auditor's report to the unit holders of the Republic Equity Trust. Opinion. We have audited the financial statement of Republic Equity Trust, which comprises a statement of financial position at 31st December 2019, and the income and distribution account and statement of movement in net assets and issued units for the year then ended, a note to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies, an explanatory note as set out on pages 15 to 28. In our opinion, the financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of Republic Equity Trust at 31st December 2019, and of its financial performance and cash flow for the year then ended, and are in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard, and in the manner required by the Unit Trust and Mutual Funds Regulation 2001 LI 1695, and the Companies Act 2019 Act 992. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the trust in accordance with International Ethics Standards Board of Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Mr. Chairman, I'd like your permission to skip the responsibilities of the trustees for the financial statement, as well as the responsibilities of the auditors for the financial statement, and then go on to key audit matters, if I have your permission, sir.
Permission granted.
Thank you very much. So key audit matters. In accordance with the international standards on auditing, this part of our report is intended to describe the matters communicated with those charged with governance that we have determined in our professional judgment were most significant in the audit of the financial statement. We have determined that there are no matters to report under key audit matters. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The Companies Act 2019 Act 992 requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters. We confirm that we have obtained all the information and explanation which to the best of our knowledge and belief were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of account have been kept by the trust so far as appears from our examination of those books, and the trust statement of assets and liabilities and income and distribution account are in agreement with the books of account. The audit opinion was signed on behalf of John K. & Co. by Mr. John Armstrong Yao Klinogo on 30th of April 2020. Thank you very much for your attention.
It was published on the website of the manager since Monday, 3rd August 2020, and same was emailed to unit holders on Tuesday, 18th August 2020. With your permission, I deem the audited financials as read. I now move that the audited statement of income and expenditure of of the Republic Equity Trust for the financial year ended December 31, 2019, together with the trustees and auditors' reports thereon, be received and adopted. I now call on the unit holder to second the motion. To second the motion, if you are using a computer, you may raise your hand by clicking on Participants and then click Raise Hand at the bottom of the Participants dialog box. If you are using a mobile phone, however, tap the three dots labeled More on the far right of the control bar, then tap Raise Hand to raise your hand. Kindly state your name for your details to be recorded.
Mr. Chairman, we have Justice James Ajite's hand raised to second the motion. Kindly unmute your mic and you may enable your video. Mr. Justice James Ajite,
Thank you very much,
you may
Mr. Chairman.
speak.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Justice James Ajite. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, my name is Mr. Justice James Ajite, and I second the motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Justice James Ajite. Before I put the motion to a vote, I invite questions. Now, members, to ask a question, if you are using a computer, tap Raise Hand or click Q&A at the bottom of the Participants dialog box and type your question. If you are using a mobile phone, however, tap the three dots labeled More on the far right of the control bar. Then tap Raise Hand or click Q&A to type your question. Please indicate or introduce yourself for your details to be duly recorded.
Mr. Chairman, we have Florence Anson's hand raised. Florence Anson, please kindly unmute your mic and you may enable your video if you so wish.
I second the motion. Florence Now Louisa answer. Thank you.
Please, it's for asking questions. The motion was already seconded by Justice James Ajite. So we take it you do not have a question. Thank you, Florence Answer.
Since there are no forthcoming questions, I now put the motion to a vote. The secretary will read the resolution and give the directions for voting.
Resolution 1. To resolve that the audited statement of income and expenditure of the Republic Equity Trust for the financial year ended December 31, 2019, together with the trustees and auditors' reports thereon, be received and adopted. To vote, using a computer or a mobile phone, kindly use the polling feature appearing on your screen to indicate your preferred option to cast your votes. Simply tap or click your preferred option and submit. Voting begins now and ends in 2 minutes.
1 minute left for voting. A minute left for voting. Voting on resolution 1 is closed. I invite the secretary to read the results.
Mr. Chairman, the results are as follows. Unit holders who voted for the motion, 20. Who voted for the resolution, 20. Against the resolution, 0. Unit holders who abstained, 0. Thank you.
I now declare resolution 1 carried. Item 3. Members, item 3 on the agenda for today is to authorize the manager to fix the remuneration of the auditors for the year 2020. I now move that the manager be authorized to fix the remuneration of the auditors, Messrs. John K. and Co. for the year 2020. I call on a unit holder to second the motion. Kindly state your name for your details to be recorded. To second the motion, if you're using a computer, please, you may raise your hand by clicking on Participants and then click Raise Hand at the bottom of the Participants dialog box. If you are using a mobile phone, however, please tap the 3 dots labeled More on the far right hand of the control bar. Then tap Raise Hand to raise your hand.
Mr. Chairman, we have Nikoni Ejito, whose hand is raised to second the motion. You may unmute your mic and you may enable your video if you so wish.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Please, my name is Nikoni Ejito, and I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Nikoni Ejito. Before I put the motion to a vote, I invite questions. To ask a question, if you're using a computer, click Raise Hand or Q&A at the bottom of the participants dialog box and type your question. If you are using a mobile phone, then tap the 3 dots labeled More on the far right of the control bar, then tap Raise Hand or click Q&A to type your question. Please introduce yourself for your details to be recorded. Since there are no forthcoming questions, I now put the motion to a vote. The secretary will read the resolution and give the directions for voting.
Resolution 2. To resolve that the manager be authorized to fix the remuneration of the auditors for the year 2020. To vote using a computer or a mobile phone, kindly use the polling feature appearing on your screen to indicate your preferred option to cast your votes. Simply tap or click your preferred option and submit. Voting begins now and ends in 2 minutes.
Voting on resolution 2 is closed. The secretary will read the results.
Mr. Chairman, the results are as follows. Unit holders who voted for the resolution, 18. Those who voted against, 0. Those who abstained, 2. Thank you.
Thank you. I now declare resolution 2 carried. Any other business? First, notifications. Unit holders, kindly be notified that the constitution of the manager and the trust deed of the Republic Equity Trust have been amended. The amendments allow the manager to hold virtual or hybrid meetings. going forward, where the manager deems it so to do. Members, we now welcome any other business from you, unit holders. To state your matter arising, if you are using a computer, you may raise your hand by clicking on participants and then click raise hand at the bottom of the participants dialog box. If you are using a mobile phone, tap the three dots labeled more on the far right of the control bar, then tap raise hand to raise your hand. I'll declare the meeting closed. In closing and appreciation, I would like to thank you all for attending the 15th Annual General Meeting of the Republic Equity Trust. May I please ask a unit holder to please close us off with a prayer.
Mr. Chairman, we have Call Saki's hand raised to give us a prayer. Mr. Kawasaki, kindly unmute your mic. Thank you. Mr. Kawasaki, kindly unmute your mic.
Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Hello. Hello, can you hear me, please?
You can hear you. Can
Let's
go
pray.
ahead.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your blessings that you've granted us. We ask that you continue to protect, guide, and cause our fund to flourish and grant us the wisdom in managing it. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen.
Thank you all, members.